Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel Beyond the Briefcase. I hope you all doing well. So today we'll be discussing that there are various types of tribunals in India and their functioning is totally different. So we'll be seeing that what kind of functions they do and also what are the things to be kept in mind when we appear before those tribunals. And there are various type of tribunals that they deal with various cases. So being a litigator, being a lawyer, being an advocate, you should know that which tribunal deals with what kind of matters. So let's start this particular presentation. As you know, my name is Avinash, and today we'll be discussing tribunals in India and what kind of functions they perform and their significance, their impact, and also the recent amendments and recent reforms in the legal system, and how useful were those reforms, and how exactly the legal system got advantage from those legal reforms. So if we see the historical context of the tribunals in India, the evolution of adjudicative bodies in India. So we can start from 1976, the 42nd Amendment to the Constitution, as we all know that how crucial the 42nd Amendment was, and it allowed the establishment of administrative tribunals in India. So ultimately, in 1985, it led to creation of Central Administrative Tribunal. We also call it as CAT for service-related disputes. And also, we got Administrative Tribunals Act in 1985. Then in 1963, we got Income Tax Appellate Tribunals, ITAT, and the motive behind creating that particular tribunal was to address specific legal needs related to income tax issues. Because again, when we talk about income tax, it has a huge ambit, right? So courts, they cannot deal with each and everything with regard to income tax. Ultimately, it will increase the pendency of the cases. So that's why they came up with this particular tribunal. Then the most important tribunal nowadays, you see this particular tribunal in news every day, which is NGT, National Green Tribunal. So it was established in 2010. Also, why NGT was established? Because to handle the environmental protection and related disputes. I'll give an example. Recently, you must be knowing that in Hyderabad, the state government they cleared around 300 acres of land just to establish IT hub, and Supreme Court took the cognizance and they have stopped the clearance of that forest area. So basically, the state government of Hyderabad they were clearing forest land of 300 acres just to make IT hub in that particular land, and Supreme Court has imposed a stay on that particular thing. So people could have gone to NGT as well for that matter, because ultimately the function of NGT is to make sure that nature should be protected, but also the development becomes very necessary. In various cases, if you see, there are n number of cases sometimes when NGT impose stay on various projects, but those people they again go to Honorable Supreme Court of India and they get, and the stay, they remove the stay. Again, the philosophy behind that, the Supreme Court says that protection of environment is very necessary, but the development and growth is also a very crucial part of any developing country. So I hope that you must have understood the historical context of the tribunals in India. Let's move on to the next slide. Then let's understand what exactly the significance of Central Administrative Tribunal is. So, as we know, the establishment of CAT was established in 1985 to handle civil servants disputes, because as you know that we recruit civil servants every year through UPSC, and we do so we recruit around 11 to 100 civil services every year. Apart from that, we also recruit civil services through various examinations, be it central government, right? So there are various examinations apart from UPSC. So we have a large number of civil servants. Also, the geographical reach. So with 17 benches across India, CAT includes principal seats at high courts to ensure accessibility. So in India we have only one Supreme Court. In India we have various high courts, right? Likewise, we have 17 benches of CAT across India. So usually you'll find this 17 benches in a metropolitan cities, for example, Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, right? Also, when we see the purpose and function of this CAT, so basically they resolves recruitment, service, condition disputes for central government employees. As I mentioned, that CAT only deals with central government employees. State government employees cannot go to CAT, right? Because the purpose of CAT is very clear. Now, talking about the impact on administrative justice. So you must be knowing the landmark case of Union of India versus S.R. Tiwari. So in that particular case, the Honorable Court said that CAT's role in upholding the public servants' right. So basically, that landmark judgment was very crucial with regard to CAT and its functioning. Also, when we look the structure of CAT, so the bench of Central Administrative Tribunal, it consists of vice chairman, chairman, and members from judicial and administrative background. So I'll tell you something. Whenever you get time, do visit the CAT tribunal. You'll see that all the chairman, vice chairman, and judicial members, they are the retired judges of Honorable High Court, right? Also, when we see the grievances, the CAT plays a crucial role in fast tracking service related grievances for civil servants. Again, as I mentioned, see, we do have high courts, subordinate courts, Supreme Court, but they don't have time, to entertain those PT cases like recruitment issues, right? Fast tracking issues of civil servants. That's why we have established CAT, and that's the main purpose of developing the CAT. Further, let's understand why there was important. What's the importance of income tax appellate tribunal? So again, it becomes very essential. It becomes very essential in the taxation field because the ITAT is very crucial for tax adjudication in India, and it was established under the Income Tax Act of 1961. Also, we you must be knowing that recently the Honorable Finance Minister, she introduced the new income tax bill, which so people are keep discussing that it does violate our uh, privacy. I also made a video on that. Do watch that. So I do feel that it does infringe your right to privacy. The new income tax bill I'm talking about. Then coming back to ITAT again, Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, it has a balanced expertise so that this particular tribunal has judicial and accountant members both, and ensuring expertise and tax issues. Because see, ultimately, if you keep only judicial members, they won't be able to solve tax issues, right? So you need to keep accountant members as well, because again, it's a very technical tribunal. Resolution of complex tax issues. So ITAT plays a very vital role in resolving intricate tax disputes and legal clarifications. So it does both. It also solves the tax disputes and it also provides legal clarifications as to any particular provision and section. Then impact on tax policy. See, ITAT decisions significantly influence tax policies, and the role of ITAT becomes very important whenever any minister or any home secretary comes up with the new law or provisions. So that's the importance of this particular tribunal. Then again, appeal mechanism for taxpayers. So ITAT provides a platform for taxpayers to contest disputes against income tax department orders. So recently, I was reading that there is a vegetable vendor who got a tax notice of 40 cr. So that person who is earning 400 rupees in a day, that person got a income tax notice of 40 cr. Now, so that's why we have established this particular tribunal. That must have been a technical glitch, that 40 cr mistake, right? So people can come to this particular tribunal to contest those cases, that see government is that tax what has been charging from us, the government is not doing fair, so please save us from that particular sort of order. Again, very expeditious justice delivery. ITAD mandates is to deliver justice promptly in tax-related matters. So they do have certain time period, and under that particular time period, you'll get the justice. So that's the best part about this particular tribunal. Again, landmark cases, like CIT versus Hita Land Developers. It shows IT80's role in interpreting tax laws. So that's why those sort of precedents, landmark judgments becomes very essential when we talk about IT80 functions and significance. Again, understanding IT80's operations is essential for the law students and for those people who wants to develop their career in indirect tax and direct tax litigation. So I hope you must have got a idea about this particular tribunal, and you must have understood that why it becomes very essential to develop such tribunals. Then moving forward to the next tribunal, which is National Green Tribunal. So we'll be looking into the key insights. So the establishment of NGT, as I mentioned, that it was established in the year 2010 under the NGT Tribunal Act to address environmental issues. Because sometimes we see that even the state governments, right, state governments or be it any MNC organizations, they come up with a huge project, and due to those huge project, we often damage the environment. So just to balance the development of the region and to protect the environment, we came up with NGT because we need to balance both, right? We cannot take a side in that particular matter. Now, expert membership. So NGT, it comprises judicial and technical experts ensuring informed decisions. So as we mentioned that in income tax tribunal we have members from judiciary and we have members from tax field, right? Same likewise in NGT we have members from judiciary. We also have environmental experts, right? Who can who helps who plays a very crucial role while reaching to a particular decision with regard to any case. So that's why every tribunal has separate demand that what kind of expertise they need and what kind of members they need, right? Then we talk about specialized forum. NGT serves as a specialized forum for cases related to environmental protection. Obviously, you cannot file civil or criminal case in NGT. NGT will solely deal with the environmental cases. Then, if you are reading NGT, if you are reading environmental law, you must be knowing a person, MC Mehta, right? So you will read a lots of cases where you will see the petitioner being MC Mehta. Then cases like Rohit Chaudhary versus Union of India highlights the role of NGT in environmental rights. Also, speedy disposal. So the aim of NGT is to resolve disputes within 6 months of filing for efficient justice. So imagine you're getting a justice within 6 months. So and definitely, this particular tribunal is very useful and efficient. Environmental justice. So NGT represents a significant step in India's commitment to environmental justice. Again, I am repeating, we cannot overlook the protection of environment. We cannot go for development at the cost of affecting environment, because again it becomes very essential to maintain environment. At the same time, we need to develop our region as well. So that was the importance of NGT. Now let's see what exactly other tribunals has. So again, the armed forces tribunals, you must be knowing that uh, all the soldiers who are into army, we cannot impose our civilian laws into them if they are into service. If they are into the service, they have separate laws, and for that purpose they have armed forces tribunal. If they commit any particular mistake, then they will be tried under this particular tribunal, right? So the establishment of Armed Forces Tribunal, it was established in the year 2007 under Armed Forces Tribunals Act, and the principal bench is in New Delhi with regional benches across India. So the best part about all these tribunals is they don't have any single bench. They have various benches across India. So it becomes very easy for any person, to approach those tribunals. Again, it ensures military personnel have a specialized forum for grievances. Armed Forces Tribunal, it addresses service conditions disputes of armed forces members. So again, it becomes a very useful tribunal for people who are into the army, and why and what kind of significance this particular tribunal has. The composition of Armed Forces Tribunal, it comprises judicial member, retired high court judges. As I mentioned in my last slide, In 90% of tribunals, you will see the retired high court judges sitting as a chairman, vice chairman, and the administrative members from the forces also. The jurisdiction of AFT, it covers commission, appointment, enrollment matters in Army, Navy, Air Force. So it's for all three services, be it Army, Navy, or Air Force, right? Then when we talk about landmark cases, cases like Union of India versus Major General Ranjit Singh showcase AFT's role. So AFT's role becomes very necessary when it comes to the people who are serving in the army, and it is very essential to have such tribunals, right? Now, Customs Excise Service Tax Appellate Tribunal, CSTAT. So basically, the role of CSTAT is to adjudicate disputes related to customs, excise, service tax. The landmark cases such as CCE versus dairy and chemical industries shape tax law precedents. So those sort of precedents becomes very essential whenever you are arguing your own case. Also, it was established in the year 1962, so it's a very old tribunal, right? And it serves as an appellate authority. And when we talk about the implications for taxpayers, CSTA's decisions enhance compliance frameworks for taxpayers. So it also shapes the compliance path. Also, composition. So this particular tribunal comprises judicial and technical members for informed decisions and becomes very important for the legal practitioners. Understanding CESTAT is essential for tax law specialists and students. And obviously, jurisdiction of this particular tribunal, it spans various sectors impacting business and taxpayers. So you must have understood that why this tribunal plays a very important role when it comes to taxpayers, right? Moving ahead, again one of the most important tribunal. Recently, I published a vacancy that NCLT is hiring three law research associates. They pay well. They pay you around 60,000 per month, and it's a job for 3 years. It's a contractual basis job. It's not a permanent job. Do check out my that video if you want to work in NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal. So NCLT is a quasi-judicial body established under the Companies Act 2013. The functions of NCLT includes approving mergers, insolvency petitions, and to related to governance issues. So when we talk about in dispute resolution, it adjudicates disputes related to company law, ensuring orderly resolution. Landmark rulings such as Innovative Industries Limited versus ICCI Bank. Again, it becomes very important precedent when it comes to NCLT. When you will read this particular precedent, you will get to know that bank how bank they argue the case when they come across any of the MNCs, and you will understand how to argue, right? How to present your arguments, how to present your drafting, and all those things. Then protection of stakeholders. NCLT protects the interest of various stakeholders in corporate matters. So you must be knowing that when we talk about any corporate, okay, there are various stakeholders, be it creator, be it data, be it any director, board of members. So there are so many people involved in company corporate matters. Their impact on economic stability. So NCLT's decisions significantly influence corporate law and economic health. Also, judicial and technical members, again, as I mentioned, that this tribunal consists of experienced judges and the corporate law experts. So you need to understand, be it NGT, be it NCLT, be it CSTAT, every tribunal has different demand, right? So you will be hiring judges, retired judges, and you will be hiring experts from that field. Then you will be able to come up with the proper members of that particular tribunal. I hope you have understand all the concepts so far. Let's move ahead. So other notable tribunals in India. So again, appellant tribunal for electricity. We do have various boards and appellant for that purpose. Debt recovery tribunal becomes very important part because DRT matters. We are seeing DRT matters a lot, and you can work on that particular field as well. Securities Appellate Tribunal, slated to SEBI, see as I mentioned, adjudicates appeals against SEBI orders, focusing on investor protection and regulatory compliance. Railway Claims Tribunal. So recently again Railways Claims Tribunal, they are also hiring members. So basically it handles claims for compensation related to railway accidents, ensuring timely justice for victims. Now, landmark cases in administrative law. So, State of UP versus Raj Narayan. This case highlighted the necessity for transparency and fairness in administrative decisions. B.K. Pandey versus Union of India redefined the limits of administrative discretion, impacting public service practices. Role of tribunals. Tribunals like CAT interpret natural justice principles, but also it influences administrative practices. Judiciary's oversight. So, judiciary plays a crucial role in overseeing administrative actions for justice. Citizens' right. Landmark rulings underscore the importance of citizens' right in administrative process. So again, key landmark cases in tax tribunals. CIT versus BK Gupta ruling. In this particular case law, the court clarified tax exemptions. Sorry, the tribunal clarified tax exemptions, showing tribunal's role in tax law interpretation. SR Tiwari versus Union of India, it highlighted the importance of procedural compliance, right, in tax. Also influence our tax policy, so those precedents very becomes plays a crucial role when it comes to influencing the whole tax policy. Essential for law students, obviously this cases is vital for law students to grasp law dynamics and to understand the basics of tribunals and the concepts. So when we see the impact of tribunals reform 2021, let's analyze the reforms India's tribunal systems. So efficiency has come up, accountability. They have clearly underscored the accountability of the tribunals. They have tried their best to remove overlapping of jurisdictions. They have also figured out the independence concern, future of adjudication as well. Also, the main motive of this particular reform was to enhance efficiency and accountability. It also consolidates various tribunals to streamline functioning. Concerns about potential undermining of tribunal independence. Then comparing tribunals and court becomes very essential. What are the distinctions between legal forums? Nature of body. The courts are traditional judicial entities depriving power from the state. Tribunals are statutory bodies created for specific functions. Procedural rules. Court follow strict procedural rules and regulations, but the tribunals operate with more flexibility to expedite justice. Judicial members. Judges in courts are typically legally trained professionals. Tribunal members may come from various specialized backgrounds. Now, when we talk about function, the court handle a broad spectrum of legal cases. Basically, they handle everything, right? But the tribunal focuses on specialized area of law. So they know their discretion, they know their jurisdiction, they have to deal with certain area of law. That's it. Accessibility. The court can be less accessible due to formal procedure, and tribunals are designed to be more accessible for the public. So the evolving landscape of tribunals. So as we see the enhanced role in dispute resolution, the integration of technology, focus on specialized areas, safeguarding independence and importance for future practitioners. So when we come to the conclusion that tribunals in India are crucial for resolving disputes, right? And also it becomes very important for the law students, for the advocates, that how useful these tribunals are. That we can get to know by reading various precedents given by honorable tribunals and honorable Supreme Court as well. And in various instances, Supreme Court highlighted the importance of tribunals in various precedents as well. So I hope you have understand basics of all the tribunals and why all those tribunals are important. So do like and subscribe my video. Share this informative video with your friends and let them learn the basics of tribunals. Stay tuned for more informative videos. Thank you so much for watching my video and do like and subscribe my video. Thank you so much.